I have no idea if it's recording. I'm just gonna say yeah. I'm just gonna say yeah. Just listen to that smooth jazz. That's not jazz, is it? That's something else entirely. Hey, so this is a StarCraft 2 visual novel, which is a terrible name, but you know what? It gets the point across. So, I mean, I can't complain. I don't know how I saw this game. Maybe it was just on the front page of Steam. I don't know. I downloaded it because I think it was free, probably. It was either free or it was in a bundle. Like, that's pretty much all my games, right? You know, it's out of my library for a while. I think I actually installed it. Whatever. Not important. And, you know, just sort of browsing around and saw it again. Thought, check it out. Pop in, and the first thing it does is say, hey, would you like to watch an informative, voice-acted explanation of StarCraft 2, just so you know what is going on, which, I mean, I don't expect anyone who doesn't play StarCraft 2 is going to be able to appreciate this game. Not that I've played it, I could be wrong. Not so much not appreciate it, but it's gonna be full of jargon, you know, it's gonna be like, what's a 6 pool? I don't even know what number they do in this game. I don't know. Anyway, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna check to see if it's recording because I feel really dumb. Okay, it's recording. Bah, jerks. Okay, anyway, you know what, let's literally move this over a bit. Hey, let's just move that right there, and then let's just ignore that happened. Yeah, actually my face is on top of words. Whatever, it'll be fine. Shut up. Anyway. So I was like, I don't need you to tell me what StarCraft 2 is, but it's a voice act. It's content. Let's watch it, right? And it is it's Day9 talking to himself. And I just lost it. I just lost it. And I was like, I have to I know the rest of the game's not going to be like that, and I'm not going to be as like emotionally raw. Okay, maybe I will, but I mean, like, I know it's not going to be exactly like that. And yet I was just like crying from, I just was not ready. And I knew I had to stream it. I knew I had to stream this. So here we are. I'm not going to go through the Day9 talking to something. I'm sure you can find it on the internet somewhere else, just on its own. But let's see how this goes. In StarCraft-VN, you select the gender of the main character. Mock? Let's say Mac. Like the name Mac. Great. Choice will mostly impact how he or she appears. The story differences are minor. Okay, cool. So it's gonna be like, yeah, cool. That's like the main character. Yeah, we're gonna play you. You fine. Reading the story is the female main character. I'm sorry, that was, I don't know. I'm liking the art so far. It reminds me of mine. This was like 100% drawn in Psy. Like, you could tell. Weird how you could pick things up like that, huh? Watch me be wrong. It could be Photoshop. I don't know. Yes, I want to play as the female main character. Let me read the original. Man, this is a way too much build-up. I mean, I guess you can't change it, but still, you know. There's a certain feeling that every StarCraft player gets before they lose. Mostly trying to ignore it at first, as if the inevitable is just another challenge to fight through. Like their past mistakes don't count, they just try a little bit harder. So weird camera angles. It's a natural thing to believe, otherwise contradicts the hours we spend practicing. Still, every player must eventually come to terms with the defeat. That they have to queue up for another game, or maybe that they flew across the world for nothing. I haven't met many players that can take a loss in stride. It's painful. It's permanent. It's proof that your best isn't always enough. Long after my elimination, I remained at the PC with a blank look in my eye. Clicks shoot from my fingers as I leap from page to page. A tournament update mentions my defeat in passing, but no one acknowledges it. When my frustration fades, I'm left only with guilt. I should have practiced harder. I consider sticking around to watch the final few games. The knot in my stomach persuades me to avoid any more stress. People are nice enough to a foreigner with the heart to attempt a Star League qualifier. But without a win, I'm just one more in a long line of losers. Hunters spend their best years chasing the esports dream. 1 in 50 makes it. This is those that don't. 1 in 50 sounds pretty good, actually. Yeah, that's not too bad odds, comparatively. Every game of StarCraft begins the same. Gather resources, train a worker, construct a building, rally an army, defend a base, contest the map, turn something small into something more. This game is punishing, it's stressful, it's draining. It builds you up and tears you down. It's not for everyone. It might not even be for me. How many more chances am I going to get? Was that my last? Oh, the feeling is back. Why am I still trying? Why can't I quit? My fist rattles the desk and sends a plastic bottle onto the floor. With my chin in hand, I throw myself into the match replay. I force down a measured breath. Losing a throwaway ladder game shouldn't bother a player of my rank. Scout denial and my poor control of the final fight gave my opponent the edge. In retrospect, my mistakes seem obvious. I toyed with the conclusion that he was hacking before realizing that I'm making excuses. No, I should have been able to win that one. Despite the Grandmaster badge next to my handle, I find myself too anxious to queue up for another game. I find myself too anxious to queue up for another game. The loss of the Victory Star League qualifier earlier today isn't helping my mindset. I comb my tiny room with a look restless and unmotivated. Sitting alone in the dark room for extended periods of time is incredibly depressing. A fact I learned only when I became a significant part of my life. Only one thing is certain. I've got to get out of here. After double checking that my apartment's door is locked, I hustle down the stairs and onto the sidewalk. Light grows with each step towards the shining skyline. Catchy pop beats and posters of flawless models dominate street after street. Foot traffic is thick and impatient. Seoul Tower stands tall from a distant hilltop. But even the lingering excitement of life in a faraway place can't dredge me out of my hopelessness. Sometimes, especially on days like this, I regret pursuing esports. It's a thought I've had more times than I'd care to admit since coming to South Korea. Even saying that, I know that I can't keep myself from competing. It's in my nature. Truth be told, this damn game is the only thing I'm good at. What is StarCraft? Some respond to that with an explanation on its game mechanics or its storyline. There are other popular answers too, that it requires the dexterity of a pianist alongside the strategic thinking of a chess player. Maybe that's what StarCraft is to most people, but to the hundreds who carve out a living on it, StarCraft isn't such a simple thing. It's the embodiment of competition, a perfect playing field. No need for athletic genes, rabid parents, tutting tutors, or expensive summer camps. You pick up the game on your own. You learn, you improve, you work. If you're good enough, you can become a god. And if you fail, you stay a nobody. I'm not building towards a long-term career. I'm friendless in a foreign country. I'm respected by no one. It's a really sad start to a game. What are you doing, game? Ugh. And if I don't qualify for the VSL next month, I'll be back home at square one. I'll be nothing. But hey, at least I play video games all day. That's a weird effect. Are you completely sure you haven't forgotten anything? Do you have enough money for the cab when you land? Are you sure that the apartment got your money? Is your cell phone charged? You brought an extra charger, right? Mom, I'm fine, please. Nothing bad is going to happen. Remember, there won't be anyone to do your laundry, cook your meals, or wake you up when you oversleep. But well, and you'll have 2 months. I won't hear anything about a loan for the flight home. It takes effort to keep a frown from my face. I'm certain that my parents came to see me off, only so they could say what only so that they could say they did. I've already sunk the entirety of my savings into this. Now isn't the time for second thoughts. My dad gestures towards the security line and taps his watch twice. Go on. The sooner this is over, the better. Oh, come back in one piece, hon. Nothing comes when I think of how to respond, so I only nod. Without another word, my parents walk away. I guess. She has to make her own mistakes. I tighten my fists, pace quickening. Even though I want to prove everyone who's doubted me wrong, I'm tired of losing for no one's sake but my own. With the sun long set, overhead signs wash the streets in color. I've wandered so far that I walk back to my apartment. So far that a walk back to my apartment would take almost half an hour. Almost a half hour? Yeah, whatever, same thing. My renewed drive to practice my craft drives my search for a place to play. It's not long before I see the words I'm looking for. PC Bang. Okay, I didn't actually escape, maybe? That's fine, whatever, it's probably just the name of it. Yeah. The amount of foot traffic suggests it's a pretty popular internet cafe. A sign on the front window reads, Golden Zone Fire. Oh, so the name wasn't called PC Bang. I don't actually know what PC Bang means. Sorry, game. Though I've only visited them a few times, PC Bangs are one of the things that interest me most about Korea. That I first got in StarCraft. Oh, okay, so it's just gonna mainland. Duking out for champion status of a neighborhood cafe is old school cool. Like the type of western where a sheriff defends his turf against upstarts and outlaws. It's an ideal that's a little bit dated these days. Most StarCraft 2 competition takes place either online or in a broadcast studios. I'll admit, I've daydreamed of being born a decade earlier and playing the original esport, Brood War, during the rise alongside the PC Bang. A better time, or so they say online. I trundle up the stairs and pass through the doorway, immediately struck by the size of the place. There has to be at least 80 computers. The crowd is too large for an ordinary evening. There are more people here. People than there are PCs even. I indulge my curiosity, and the first person I see, a dark-haired guy observing a match of StarCraft 2 from behind someone's shoulder. Excuse me, is there an event going on? The guy turns to me and looks. I mean, like I'm speaking something other than Korean. After a brief silence, he responds. Are you new or something? How have you not heard of all-out attack? Yeah, I'm new. Just asking. He hums and glances away for a moment. Though he doesn't apologize, he does fill me in. Golden Zone Fire hosts a StarCraft 2 tournament called All Out Attack once a month. It's one of the few places you'll find a decent player outside of an online cup or Star League. Used to be Brood War tournament, actually. I see. Thank you. Are you here cheering for someone? He only stares in response. The guy walks away with a shake of his head, mumbling something about foreigners. The back of his shirt sports a Korean Pro Gamer Association logo. Maybe he's a Brood War fan or something. None of the StarCraft teams under KPGA's regulation compete in anything except the original game, Brood War. Understandably, they don't want to fracture a scene they've worked so hard to build up. And that's lucky for those of us trying to keep from drowning in a game that's already deep with talent. KPGA players train for unbelievable hours. Well, came here to practice, and now I'm presented with an excellent chance to do so, if what that guy said is true. A few stares follow me as I walk forwards to put my name on the sign-up list. I must look like a tourist in over my head. I'm definitely not the first foreigner to go abroad for esports, but most come to South Korea only once. Most come to South Korea only once. Why can't I say that? Only once they have Only once they have results or fame. Blech. You already read it. Shut up. What am I even doing? After paying for an hour's worth of PC time at the front desk, I settle for a station that has a mouse and a keyboard similar to my setup back home. A few minutes later, I join my opponent's game lobby just in time for the start of the first round. His name isn't familiar, so I check his profile to see his ranked. Check his profile to see he's ranked midway through Master League. Not bad for a casual player. What made you think he was casual? I don't, okay, whatever. He seems eager enough by the rate he's spamming go-go in the pre-game chat. The game gets underway once I confirm that I'm ready. And his use of actual game, like, screenshots is super weird. I don't know, I like it, but it's just very weird. Workers, minerals, Vespine gas, and command center. I started at every match with only these resources at my disposal. It's my job to turn into something that can defeat my opponents. Generally, that means I need to build structures capable of training units for my army. My build order determines how my end of the matchup plays out. This game, I've opted for quick Hellion attack. Not only will it offer me a chance to deal some damage to my opponents, but it will allow me to scout. But it seems I don't have much to worry about. My opponent went for a greedy build order, focusing entirely on his economy instead of his army. Fortunately for him, the match isn't going to last long enough for that risk to pay off. My Hellions make short work of a single queen and a handful of circlings. With this front line out of the way, I'm free to rush into his mineral line and roast his workers, denying him the resources he needs to muster an army. Facing down a marine reinforcement, it's not long before my Zerg opponent types out the 2 letters. GG. Easy. As soon as the victory screen displays, anxiety floods out of my body. StarCraft is tense. It isn't an exaggeration to say that there is never a moment to relax until a match is over. Bristling with confidence, I get up to check my next opponent. And it's Acel. I'm sorry, internet, I don't know how to pronounce it. It might, if this is a real person, I don't know them. I draw my lips on a line and let my shoulders slouch. Well, that's the end of this tournament run. Acel is one of South Korea's strongest Terran players. He's well known for his old school cred, balanced playstyle, and friendly banter. He lost in the round of 8. He lost in the round of 8 of last season's VSL. A respectable finish, if not a high-paying one. From what I remember, Acel was a damn good Brood War player, but he was out of his prime when the sequel hit last year, so it makes sense that he switched. While I'm considering what sort of rush I should do to steal a win, I feel a tap on my shoulder and turn. Huh, so you are a foreigner. And find none other than the man himself standing there. This is a bit surreal, considering I've followed Acel's play for about as long as I've been into StarCraft. Luckily, his nonchalant manner disarms my surprise. I have no idea how to do your pose, I'm sorry. I think we play next round. I'm Mac, a Terran. He misses a beat before regaining his smile, likely surprised that I understood, and then answered him. Yeah, I saw you won your game. Not bad. Foreigners are an uncommon sight at All Out Attack. Are you a pro gamer? What team are you on? I don't know if you could call me a pro gamer at this point, and I don't have a team. I'm trying to find one, though. I do my best not to look too hopeful, though Acel's blank expression is hard to read either way. He pauses to scratch his cheek before responding. Well, good luck. Don't expect another easy match. You too. I mean, thanks. Man, her voice is changing all over the place too. This is the worst. Oh god, kill me. At least he laughed. My stress from before is mostly gone. If I lose, big deal. I've expected to lose. If I win, I beat Acel. I'm still chewing over which cheese I should perform before finally deciding just to play standard. I shouldn't squander the rare chance to practice against a top player. Yeah, if you win with the cheese, then like, what did that prove? Nothing. It proves nothing about your play. No one's gonna respect you for winning with cheese. Sorry. Commentating over. He and I banter back and forth in the pre-game lobby for a bit, before the game gets underway. Acel, old school Brood War Terran, plays classic Marine tank style, probably about to crush me. I haven't gone up against a player as strong as Acel in a while. There probably wasn't a single person at the BSL qualifier at his level. That only makes a potential victory all the more tantalizing. It's a chance to prove to myself that I've got what it takes. Even if I've decided on playing standard, I've still got a decision to make in how to execute my mid-game strategy. This map is well suited for a Hellion attack. I'll have plenty of room for poke around in his expansion since it lacks a choke point. I feel almost like I should be talking about my experience with watching StarCraft 2. Like, I didn't really play, I sort of did, but like, you know, I was crap. But I used to watch a ton of Day9 videos. I just really enjoyed the way he was able to actually like make the high game play make sense to my brain. Like, I was looking at it and I go, okay, this guy's winning. Oh, there's a fight happening, and this guy's got more units, blah, 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 blah. But I couldn't really appreciate, like, what was happening behind the scenes and stuff, and, like, why saving things here is good, and why building that is good, and why you should, you know, all that nitty-gritty stuff. And he did a great job at explaining it. I haven't watched it in forever, and I don't know anything about the current state. And I never really followed the actual players, because without, like, a really good commentator, I couldn't actually follow anything. It's whatever. And, you know, whatever. I just sort of got tired of it, because it was very much... It felt very samey. And I've just never been into sports at all, or otherwise. But this is very cool, seeing it, like, break down the match in this sort of play-by-play style. And seeing the person's thinking, like, I can really appreciate that. And it's very cool, very cool. I'm really enjoying it. This map is well suited for a Hellion attack. I'll have plenty of room to poke around his expansion since it lacks a choke point. An attack by air might also be a strong option. The distance between our bases is relatively long by land, but it'll take a Banshee less than 5 seconds to travel from mine to his. I'm confident with both styles. It's just a matter of how I want to execute the attack. Oh, I just get to choose. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Of course I get to choose. This is a VN. Ooh, I can just use arrow piece. Awesome. Yeah, let's do Hellions. This is super weird because I'm just like, I'm a StarCraft player. Why are you asking me? Yeah, I mean, at very least you should start with Hellions because Banshees will take too long to get her up and running. You should go into Banshees. Wait, am I planning my mid game? Because if I'm planning my mid game, then Banshees, because Banshees are mid game. I don't think of Hellions as mid game at all. Whatever. I produced my Hellions 2 at a time and sent my first 4. You know, I probably shouldn't do that because we did Hellions last game. He wasn't watching though, right? Unless he was. He said that he saw my 1. That doesn't mean he was watching, though. I'm thinking too much about this. Let's just play the game. I produce my Hellions 2 at a time and send my first 4 across the map. It takes a few extra seconds to clear out the space between our bases. Confident that I have enough breathing room, I prepare for my first attack. My Hellions make a beeline for the natural expansion's worker line. With some decent micro on my part, I managed to secure a few worker kills before ordering a retreat. Yeah, just poke. Just poke with your Hellions. A lesser player might have sacrificed 4 Hellions for more economic damage, but I've practiced this style enough to know that I'll lose map control without them. I practiced this style enough. I thought she was saying she studied her opponent's style. This game isn't going insanely well, though Acel took his expansion before I did. The damage he took puts us on even footing. I follow up with an army of Marines, Marauders, and dropships. See, like, this is so, like, you don't know what's going on if you didn't play this game. Yeah. I guess you don't need to know what either of those things mean in specific terms. Whatever. I follow up with an army of Marines, Marauders, and dropships, the bread and butter of most Terran players. Since I cleared the space between our bases, he's in the dark about the timing of this next attack. There's a solid chance that I could do enough damage here to end the game. But just as I arrive on the outskirts of Acel's expansion, one of his dropships unloads a handful of Marines at my base. That's gonna slow down my ability to reinforce. Whoa, shit. With my focus on the drop in my main, Acel rushed into the army I left outside his base while I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, really? How did you... Sorry. Sorry. Shouldn't judge this fictional player. Anyway. I mean, that's a mistake I would make, but I'm terrible. Sorry. Left outside my base while I wasn't paying attention. He's got a concave formation on me. And just like that, my advantage evaporates. Though I managed to stay in the game for a bit longer, Acel wisely guards his lead by immediately taking a third base. Soon enough, his economic advantage is reflected in the size of his army. After my blunder, Acel's play was airtight. There really wasn't anything for me to do. I wonder what that choice determined. Like, I figured you'd lose either way, right? Like, that one choice is not going to completely swing the match. The problem wasn't building the Hellions. The problem was that she was distracted. Like, then, like, he did it play. So anyway, I'm curious what that did. Reminds me of in Katawa Jojo, there's a time when you're playing Risk, and you either, like, play defensively or you play aggressively, and both ways you lose, but Shizune respects you if you choose one way or the other. It's weird. With a groan, I offer a GG and concede the match. I didn't exactly throw my lead, but I did get seriously outplayed. Fantasizing about how a victory would have felt doesn't help me keep my mind off the loss. Knowing that I did my best only helps so much. But not a moment later, Acel turns the corner with a smile and raised eyebrows. Hey, good game. You're actually not bad. I assumed you were here for fun or something. Oh, thanks, I think. I am here for fun, though. You play really well. I'm surprised. Most foreigners don't hit timings like that. Good vision control, too. And your scouting was top-notch. No, I lost because of my vision control, right? I was like, oh, I'm gonna look at this other thing and not notice something happening on my mini-map? Like, what? Sorry. I'm sorry. Stop judging Mac, okay? Stop it. Stop it, man. This is why people get salty in esports, right? Whew. Oh, that's cool. It actually puts the little logo on their name. That's awesome. When we meet more players, I'm sure it's going to have everyone like branded by what race they play. That's so cool. There's a lot of really nice touches in this. This is a very well produced game, to be honest, so far. You're really not on the team? Are you at least staying at the team house? Oh, are you studying abroad? Nothing like that. I'm staying by myself in an apartment by the VSL studios. So, you came to Korea alone and on your own dime, and you're not just visiting. Yes? I do my best not to seem awkward about my answer, but any reason to worry disappears when Ethel smiles. It takes some serious guts to move out here like that. I can't think of a single person who's made it out here on their own. Yeah, I said that right. Shut up. A few nearby competitors watch our conversation. It's probably not often that Aesel gives his attention to a random nobody he crushes early in a bracket. I've got some time before my next game. Let me introduce you to a friend of mine. It's gonna be the guy, isn't it? I mean, that's how foreshadowing works. Oh, sure. Is her voice is not consistent, right? I don't know. With a nod, Aesel leads me to the PC area at the back of the cafe. We pass a number of known players on the way there, most lounging around no differently than the cafe's other patrons. Maybe they aren't that different. I guess even professionals like to kick back with the tangle of chords and rush of caffeine every now and then. Games shouldn't be all business all the time, although I'd bet the KPGA executives disagree. Aesel comes to a stop away from the constant tappings of keyboards. He then plops himself into a seat against a wall and invites me to join him with a wave of his hand. As I take my seat, I look up to find someone I recognize at his side. Oh, no, that is not. This is not the guy from before, but I do like her attitude. Jet. A Zerg and former VSL champion. Yeah, Zerg! Woo! She won StarCraft 2's very first grand final back in beta. A year ago. She might have been the game's most famous player. You know, that's the one choice I'm surprised you didn't get to make. Like, getting to choose your person's gender? Yeah, okay. That's a pretty, whatever. I could take it or leave it. But we don't get to choose our race? Come on! This is a StarCraft 2 game or what? That would be great. It's like, you know, whatever. Who cares what gender? Are you Protester or Terran? This is important. Nah, you're Terran. I wonder if you get to, like, switch mains. Probably not. That'd be cool. That'd be a cool thing. Did I read this whole thing? You're a girl, but you might have been a guy. Yeah. Her flippant and inflammatory antics have made her a somewhat controversial figure. She rarely GGs and isn't afraid to talk trash on stage. And there she is, just waiting there. It's all I can do not to stare. I know, I'd stare too. I'd be like, crap. Now I'm in a room with someone, and I have to look at walls. Man. I hate doing that. But staring's worse, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know how to act in front of people. Okay, this is not about me. Let's keep going. A smile plays on her lips when she glances past me to SL. Aesel, seriously, stop promising my autograph as a reward for beating you. Hilarious. She can understand you, by the way. Who are you up against next round? Oh man, I gotta turn those notifications off. Some Zerg dishwasher on LHT/ugh. I hate ZVZ. Jet rolls her eyes back to me. After a brief appraisal, she lifts her chin and speaks a single word. Name? What? I'm Mac. Terran. I'm teamless. Jet shifts her gaze back to Aesel as if to ask, why did you bring this noob back here? But before she can actually say anything, Aesel comes to my defense with an easy smile. Hey, cool it with the judgment until you've seen her play. Plus, you ever heard of a foreigner that came out here alone just for StarCraft? My girl right here did. You have to admit, that's brave. His voice changed, didn't it? Shut it. Yeah. If that endorsement wasn't convincing enough, he offers one of his classic grins for good measure. The response seems to satisfy her, for now. She's so Kim Pines, right? It's great. Yeah, I love it. While I try to keep from showing anything to contradict Aesel's assessment, Jet aims her attention back at me. So I don't get this. Like, he doesn't actually... Is that literally the only game he's ever seen you play? And not even, like, a replay? He only saw it from the, like, enemy team through the fog of war? That is not enough to go on. This is super weird. Okay, whatever. Shut up. It's a video game. Well, I try to... No, I already said that. Didn't see your name on the list of people who made it past the VSL qualifiers. How'd you place? That voice was not the same at all. Yes, I'm great. I lost my second to last match. The qualifier before that, I dropped out in the final game at the last series. 2 attempts without making it, huh? Hard to tell much from that. Really depends on the bracket you had. How do you live out here with no team? Do you stream or something? I used to stream, but, well, I don't anymore. Wow, that's not helpful at all. That's not much information. She raises her eyebrow, waiting for me to elaborate until I look away. Without missing a beat, she moves on to the next question. So your parents pay for everything? No, I'm here on my summer job earnings and a little bit extra from my grandparents. Huh. How lucky. I never got any handouts. This isn't going very well. Still, Issa looks as collected as ever, watching with a smile as the interrogation continues. Did you play Brood War? Not really. I mean, I had a copy as a kid, but I wasn't good. Had to cheat to even finish the campaign. Why would you say that? What are you doing? Oh, then you were only a little bit worse than Jet. Nice. Thanks, Aesel. Jet scowls silently at the job. It's true that the 2 years she spent playing Brood War were mostly unremarkable. And this is your first try at a professional gaming? When I nod, she gives me a hard look. Why are you out here? What do you mean? I'm sure you're aware of your chances. It's been more than 5 years since a foreign pro gamer accomplished anything noteworthy in Korea. I know what she's getting at, but it's not like I have a particularly great or unique answer. I scratch behind my head and look away. I mean, why else? I want to become a better StarCraft. Everyone knows that Korea is the place to do that. And why is that? Well, because the best players are out here. So I studied the... No, I'm asking why you want to become better. That's well done. I did not even finish reading that. Don't know what the last few words said. Oh. Feels like she's forcibly extracting the truth from me. All the same, I can't leave her expression unanswered. I wonder if Aesel brought you over here because he didn't want to be the dick asking these questions, but wanted the answers, or like wanted you to figure them out for yourself by being forced to answer them. I don't even know. Those fingerlets are gonna annoy me for the rest of this scene. I just realized. Crap. Anyway. I like the art. Shut up. I'm not criticizing the art. The art's great. Shut up. I do my best to avoid showing the embarrassment I feel in my honest response. Because I want to be a champion. Or at least show I can compete at that level. Everyone who plays this game wants that, don't they? You're right about that one. Every idiot that makes it to Grandmaster and takes a map off a good player thinks they're pro gamer material. A champion, huh? Sheesh. She clicks her tongue in sighs. Is that how you click your tongue? I don't know what sound that actually means. I've read it so many times, clicking your tongue, and I'm like, I know ways to click your tongue, but that means something specific, to like, clicking in disapproval. I don't know. I don't know. She clicks her tongue and sighs, but doesn't seem displeased. Well, at least any more so than usual. I wouldn't have much ground to stand on if I disagreed with her. Jet is one of the few who has accomplished what the rest of us dream about. Don't be so harsh. Her style is solid, and she stood toe-to-toe with me for a while. with enough time, she could compete. What do you think? Why don't you practice with her a bit? I could. Little harm in giving her a chance. Wait, back up. What just happened? That sounded like an actual voice acting. That's narration. Crap, how do I... man. I need to get better at this. Voice acting VNs. I love watching them, and so I really want to be good at making them, because it's so hard to do well that it's worth appreciating. Shut up. What am I doing? I should just cut all this out so that, you know, I don't break up your experience, dear viewer. This is a weird night. What am I even... wait, back up. What just happened? Did he just say practice, and did she say yes? Hazel answers her with a pleased expression. Jet takes a moment to stretch out before again crossing her arms across her chest. Stop staring and say something, Mac. The sound of my name wakes me from my stunned silence. I jolt upright and offer a flurry of nods. So I'm assuming everyone's going by, like, handle. A lot of these handles are really short, and I'm surprised that you got them and they didn't want taken. You know, they're nothing, like, distinctive. Like, they're all pretty normal sounding names, which is weird. And two, I just really want to know what Mac's name is now. Like, eh. Sorry. Yes. I say yes. I definitely say yes. Jed and Estelle watch me in silence until I lower myself back into my seat. It takes some determination to come out here alone. Let's see if it translates to wins, yes? With a thumbs up, it's settled. I found myself with one of the best practice partners in the world. I really hope this isn't just for the novelty of playing with some random foreigner. I mean, she's not doing it for the novelty. She's doing it because Aesel asked her to, right? Like, if Aesel was like, oh man, I want to play with you because you're a foreigner, then yeah, it would make sense that you were thinking that. But she was like, sure, why not? I got nothing better to do. So she's not doing it for novelty, so at least you have that going for you. Aesel, it's about time to get back to all-out attack. Wouldn't want to get DQ'd if we'll be matching in the semis. Can you be certain that I didn't lose to Mac already? What if this was my way of saving face? Funny. Have you lost to a foreigner even once? I use the word foreigner a lot. I wonder if, like, it's just a really common, like, word, but it's not, like, the same connotation, you know? Because they're speaking Korean, right? Anyway. Hey, you never know who's playing on a barcode account. Fair. You sure you don't want to pot split? Final offer. Collude with you? Not a chance. What about you, Mac? Gonna stick around? I know this is irrelevant, but I'm thinking it now. I picked my person and what they looked like and stuff. Who I am. I guess there's probably gonna be like splash art where they're included in them or something, so it's not completely irrelevant. But when a game actually defines what the protagonist looks like, but is still in first person, it's best when they put them in like the corner, you know what I mean? Or like something, like they don't have to show up like the person you're talking to, but have a little like face corner. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice when they do that, because I've already forgotten what I look like. What about you, Mac? Gonna stick around? A PC bang with the bustle of a tournament isn't a great training environment. The bracket will probably take a few hours to work through too. No, I'm gonna head home. Got a lot of practicing to do tonight. Leave me already? Well, hey, it was good to meet you. Wasn't I gonna play a game with Jet? I'm confused. I guess I'm gonna play online. Oh, okay. I see. Be at Golden Zone Fire tomorrow morning and we'll find out if you're overhyped. Of course I'm well, not necessarily overhyped, but like, he has nothing to go on. This is such a weird scenario. But hey, it's all about who you know and happenstance, right? That's how you get anywhere in any field. Will do. I rise and offer each of them a nod and thanks before heading back towards the PC area. The last thing I see is a vague smile from Jet as she leans over and whispers something to Estelle. That was weird. I squeeze my way through the growing crowd and manage to make it through the doorway leading outside. When I hit the street, I'm met with a cool breeze and a rush of voices, sound, and light. This is it. A shot. One final shot to make it happen. So I've only been here for like a month or less? Yeah, maybe it's gonna go all like Sim-style VN on me and it'd be like, you have 30 days to make it big. I don't expect that, but I mean it could. Because, you know, I'm planning on leaving at the end of the month, aren't I? Isn't that what they said at the beginning? That I'd come for 2 months? I saved so I come to Korea for 2 months and then come back home. That's so weird. One last chance to live the life I want. I quicken my pace, eager for the comfort of a dark room and a bright monitor. I know that one. I know that feeling. Is that sad? That's not sad. We're all awesome. Shut up. Kind of want to turn that light off now. This is the day that everything changes. I'm gonna have to get the soundtrack. It's really good. True to her word, Jet sent me a reminder to get over Golden Zone Fire for some morning practice. I enjoy playing online and all, but matching against someone only a few feet away is way more productive. Talking over games in person makes it easier to get feedback and improve, and that's what I need more than anything else. The sting from my failures at the VSL qualifiers will take time to fade. I don't want to experience that pain ever again. Well, you're gonna. I just, you know, they actually have people in all these seats. That's a really nice, like, background. Usually they're like, nah, we're just not gonna put people in the seats. And I'm like, why not? Like, who cares? Just put people in the seats. Like, why is an empty classroom a better background? Anyway. I catch sight of Jet with them in a middle row, her attention locked on a ladder game. Without disturbing her, I take a seat at her side and watch the match unfold. Furious taps and clicks rattle her keyboard. Her focus never drops from the game, much less her monitor. She's ahead, though not by much. It's not long until she extends her lead in the late game, and a few minutes later, heaves a sigh of relief when her opponent rage quits out. There's no need for me to consult my Korean. Oh, I see. I misunderstood what she meant by Korean skills. She meant skills in the Korean language. I got mad Korean skills. I'm like, I don't know, maybe that's a thing that, like, Western StarCraft players say. They're like, man, I got Korean skills. That sounds so bad. I'm sorry. It could be a thing. I don't know stuff. There's no need for me to consult my Korean skills to understand his final message. Zerg Imba. Do they say Imba? Like, to me, Imba means short for imbalanced. So, do they have a different word for that? Is it actually phonetically close to Korean for imbalanced? Like, I don't know. Because, I mean, I figure that the slang would originate in Korea, not migrate to Korea, you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm thinking too much about this. You actually showed up. Color me surprised. How could I not? Better question is how you have the free time to practice with some amateur. I'm the charitable sort. Obviously. Anyway, you're here, so let's stop wasting time. You paid for your PC, yeah? I nod and log myself into the station next to hers. A few minutes later, the two of us are grinding our practice matches. And this is the weird thing about, like those tournaments. This is not the right... Okay, it stopped. That's the weird thing about those, like, tournament matches. Like single elimination tournament, like, what? You could play 50, practice matches and you're gonna win, like, a few of them. So what does a single elimination do, right? Like, dumb. Anyway, sports, am I right? I'm awful. I don't know what I'm doing. Game after game is a beatdown. I can't crack her defense when I attack, and I'm barely holding out when she goes on offense. She's just as unforgiving in pointing out my mistakes as she is in game. Your wall at the ramp is to your natural is trash. How the hell do you get away with this? You're asking to get busted. Yeah, that's pretty bad, isn't it? Why is... that's the thing, right? There's so many tips you can tell a beginner in StarCraft, and then once you get high enough level play, it's like, it's so minor that it's very, very hard to comprehend. For me, anyway. Whereas, like, just getting those basics down and being like, hey, build more than one barracks, duh. And I'm like, oh. That literally did not occur to me the first time I played StarCraft. Now, I'm saying first time I played StarCraft, I mean when I was a kid playing StarCraft 1. I didn't even play Brood War. I played 1. Crap like that. Anyway. So, like, things like, how to do a proper wall off. Yeah. That's really straightforward stuff that you're going to want to learn as fast as you can when you're, like, super beginner. But she's obviously past that point, so that's not the sort of thing I would expect to be commented on here. Ooh, stop with the commentary here, DarcyBits. Stop with the commentary. It's not something I really think that much about. I just throw it up, Fix it or be punished. That probably isn't an idle threat. Jed is the type of player capable of ending the game instantly if she can capitalize on the right kind of mistake. Her style has been characterized as both passive and reactive. She takes her time, watches her opponent, patient for the right moment to strike. She only takes a risk if it's calculated in her favor. Given her former success, the style has suited her well. Though I can't help but wonder why she hasn't lately been performing at her previous level. Maybe she lost her killer instinct. I'm confused. Is she wrecking you game after game? Or did you actually get some close games like you did with Aesol? Not that that was really close, but you held your own for a while. Whereas this, you're painting this picture of, like, I got wrecked 50 times in a row. I guess you didn't actually say that yet, but it's sort of the implication that I'm getting out of it. I don't know. Tone. Bane. Guess not. A reminder of the skill difference between us rushes on the ramp and my natural expansion and crushes my wall as promised. In the aftermath of the destruction, she swarms my base and seizes an easy win. Jet revels in her victory with a predatory smile. I guess this was only one game. Wrecked. Before we get into the next game, I catch sight of a familiar face coming into the cafe. Yeah, so that was only one game. Okay. Hey, it's that dude. I think I did the same voice for him and the Gindian and Aesol, so whatever. Huh, isn't that the same guy from last night? Who would have thought that he'd come back to the same place? That's so weird. That's like a thing that no one ever goes to the same place twice. Sorry. Hey Jet, do you know who that is? I thumb in the stranger's direction as he passes by us, his attention occupied by a cell phone screen. Jet trails a look after him, wrinkles her nose and shrugs. He's a KPGA player, Protoss. What about him? Come on, get into the game already. Seriously? He was at all-out attack yesterday. What's he doing outside of the team house 2 days in a row? It's actually weird. Wow. That is the one thing, I should say that is the one thing that was really nice to know about in the, like, hey, so you haven't heard of StarCraft kind of video. It was talking about like team houses and junk, which I had not heard of. And so actually the environment around South Korean professional teams, that's pretty cool and interesting information for me that I didn't know much about. So that is nice. And that's what I'm actually really interested about this game, right? It's not just like, hey, it's a game about playing StarCraft. It's about the environment of the StarCraft, like, professional teams. Anyway. They're only figuratively chained to their desks. Not all of them are shut-ins. Stop wasting time. Let's go. And I mean, like, yeah, he's outside of his team house, but he's here playing StarCraft. Like, it's not like, I don't know. It's not like he's not doing the thing. And even if it was, that's not that weird. Maybe it is. Again, I don't know the culture. I double take away from Jet to find the player in question seated a few rows in front of us. And he's got the StarCraft 2 client open. Why would a KPGA player spend his practice time on anything but Brood War? Oh, that's interesting. Should I ask him for a game? I think I'm gonna ask him for a game. What? No, hold on, wait. You can't just... Yeah, you're here to play with Jet. You're like, hey Jet, let's practice. I'm not gonna play with you. That seems kind of like a dick move. But before she can stop me, I rise and shuffle my way past the rows of repeaters. Jet shoots me a withering glare over the top of her station before ducking back down. I wonder if she knows this good. Probably, yeah. Even though I barely interacted with the guy, I can't help but feel a little anxious as I edge closer to the PC. Sure, he was a bit rude when we spoke, but the chances of him challenging a KPGA pro is too good to pass up, especially if I'm trying to step up my game. He's about to jump into a match when I clear my throat right behind him. He subtly alt-tabs and then turns to regard me through half-lidded eyes. What? Excuse me, would you mind a practice game? No, I'm just here to... He pauses. Recognition flits across his face. You're the chick from Allied Attack yesterday, aren't you? For a moment, he looks ready to dismiss me and get to laddering. But at the last second, he nods. Alright, one game. Is that the same voice? I don't know. I spend way too much time commenting on voices, so I should just shut up about it. With the final nod, I return to my station. A moment later, he and I share a game lobby. We're just about to ready to begin. He's playing on a barcode account. Typical. How have I still not managed to catch this guy's name? A sharp tap against my headphones announces Jet's return in displeasure. You're obnoxious. If you lose and embarrass me as association, I'm gonna pretend I don't know you. Yeah, that's fine. You don't know me, pretty much. Anything else Jet has to say is drowned out, along with the sound of golden zone fire when I pull the ear pad back on. Ear pad? I don't know that word. Question marks. Question marks. Maybe he plays Protoss, I guess? Question marks. That's pretty great. I'm enjoying this. Yeah. If the idea behind practicing against a good player is to improve, I should probably play standard. Still, the temptation to all in is out there. How sick would it be to grab a quick win on a KPGA player? That's what Jet was talking about earlier. Every noob who, gets a quick win off on a pro player thinks they're awesome. Like, no, that's not a thing. Like, just, no, shut up. Ugh, sorry. Why am I getting so heated? I don't play StarCraft. Man. That was a weird time in my life. It was only like 6 months or something that I actually was into it. Like back when it first came out. Or like before it came out. Because that was when I watched most of the Day 9 stuff. Was during the beta. Like, I don't... This is bringing out weird emotions in me. Not emotional, but nostalgic? I guess? But nostalgic in a defensive, aggressive way? This is... I don't know, man. I don't know, guys. I don't even know. No, we're gonna play a standard game. Come on. That said, you better watch out, because he's going to cheese you, okay? Sorry, there was options. Early... yeah, those two things she discussed of what she wanted to do a standard player. I didn't read them aloud. It's probably best for me to follow Jet's advice. I opt for a standard Mac. Wait, did Jet give me advice? I mean, she advised me to wall off my ramp better, I guess. Anyway. It's probably best that I follow Jet's advice. I opt for a standard macro management game. This guy's build permitted. Yeah, but you need good scouting. You need good scouting. You don't even know if he's... Do you know he's Protoss? It said question marks, so I'd assume that it doesn't tell you at the beginning of the game. I don't know. I don't know enough about StarCraft. I take my natural expansion to begin teching up. The match progresses quietly, with only a few brief skirmishes with the stalkers and my marines. He plays Protoss. My scan shows... Ooh, scan. I forgot about scan. Shows that he's not doing anything out of the ordinary. One of us has to make a move sooner or later. I start constructing my starboard, researching my bio upgrades. I'm surprised to find that they finish without any pressure coming from the Protoss army. Is he turtling? This could be a good time for some drop play, and try to snipe some of the critical tech buildings. If I were to play an aggressive drop style, I need to be confident in my control and in the fact that I can outplay him. On the other hand, this game has been exceptionally quiet. If I can get up another expansion, I'll have a serious economic advantage going into the late game. Ooh, it's another choice. Risk an early third base, get aggressive with dropships. Okay, so if I know anything about StarCraft, and I'm pretty sure I don't, if we go aggressive with dropships, that's just like, we're going to spend resources doing this thing, and if they can defend it well enough, then he's going to be like, well, I turtled a bunch, and now I can just wipe the floor with you because I have the economic advantage, I guess. And if I go for the early third, he's being defensive enough that we probably can sustain it long enough. But if nobody attacks ever, if two people turtle back and forth, then it just nothing happens. Someone's got to attack. So I'm going to risk the early third. I like economy games. I don't play Terran, though. I play Zerg, and I think Zerg needs to... They should expand as much as possible, so it's a different playstyle. No, I play Zerg. What am I even talking about? I haven't played in, like... How long has StarCraft 2 been out? I have not played Heart of the Swarm. Like, that's how long ago. I've only ever played Wings of Liberty. That's how long ago it's been. Anyway. Third. I cut my Marines long enough to save it for a quick third base. It finishes before my first dropships is even out. Just as my expansion is about to land, a red blip shows up on my minimap. Is a Void Ray? Is a Void Ray. Is it a Void Ray? It's a Void Ray? I'm not sure what they're going for there. I have missile turrets to defend, so I should be fine. No, Void Rays are nasty, man. No, it was not a Void Ray. Wait, no. It's floating on the outskirts of my base. A warp prism? I'll be able to warp his units into my base. My army is completely out of position. Yeah, we just lost. He starts warping in just outside my static defenses. Zealots rush into my base and tear my marine mineral line to pieces before I can move units back to defend. This is bad. But I have an extra third. It's not... No, never mind. Oh god, he's in my natural too. He's got such a big army, I can't keep my defenses up with my economy crippled. I spread myself way too thin. If only I'd done a better job scouting. Yeah, man, scout! I keep telling you! Not that I'm ever good at scouting, but whatever. Hey, disappear, a little message. Just drop. Just turn it. Okay. With my production structures camped, my units die almost the second they finish training. That's checkmate. Once again, I don't know if my choices could have changed the sway of that battle. I feel like maybe this one it would have determined whether I won or lost. But I don't, because it was 2 choices, right? It wasn't a single choice. I don't know. I don't know at all. I don't want to sulk in the defeat before KPGA player makes his way over to me with a smirk. As promised, Jet is nowhere to be seen. That was greedy. Is that what I say is? Though it's difficult to be graceful in defeat. I try my best anyway. Yeah, well, it's not something I've practiced a whole lot, and I didn't really produce as efficiently as I could have. Hey, I said it was a practice game. I'm trying out a new strat. That's all you gotta say. All you gotta say is, oh, I was trying out a new strat. I was trying out a new strat. That's all. I was trying out a new strat. That's all you gotta say. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Yeah, well, it's not something I've practiced a whole lot, and I didn't really produce as efficiently as I could have. Wouldn't have mattered. Bad mechanics should be the least of your worries. His grin darkens to one without humor. Is this guy serious? I really like the art of your hands. It's really nice. Sorry, I get distracted. Oh, look at the art in this game. I know I'll look at the artist later. What the hell is your problem? You demand a game and whine when you get a little pushback? Look who's talking. Did I whine? I don't really like your hair. Can we chat? Should we bone this guy? I think we should. I think we should really, yeah. I think this is the guy. Damn. Oh man. I mean, I'm assuming. I don't even know. This game might not go there. If it's like, it's a visual novel, this doesn't mean it has romance in it. Like, it's so weird how those things are just like, so strongly associated. You know? It's like comic books and superheroes, right? Like, nah. Anyway. Everyone knows your type, the foreigner out to make a name for herself. You fly over here on a whim and waste 6 weeks training. You aren't the first and unfortunately won't be the last. Oh, his picture is set as random. Interesting. Your plane ticket doesn't buy you the right to call yourself a pro gamer. Save your money and your time and go back home. I feel the heat rise in my face, half in anger and half in embarrassment. Never dealt well with confrontation. I don't think I was that confrontational. Was I? Like, he said, yo, you lost. And I was like, yeah, I did. And I kind of defended my loss, but I was like, yeah, you're right, I did. And he's just like, you suck! And I'm like, what? Did I miss something? I might have missed something, I don't know. But before I can say anything else, Jet steps out from around the corner and cuts between the two of us. Still great at making friends, Humboldt? Yeah, I figured you knew her. I figured you knew him. He glances between the two of us, surprised. After a moment's pause, the so-called Bolt seizes back his smirk and meets Jet with a step forward. Like, these names, I don't know. I mean, I guess someone has to have the name Jet and has to have the name Bolt, but seriously, those games are just so standard that in an environment of unique usernames, no, you don't have it. Unless they're like nicknames, like, oh, my name's Bolt Crash Road or something. That's a dumb name, I'm sorry, that's the worst. But everyone calls me Bolt. Like, I mean, I guess I could buy that, but you tell someone your full name and then say, call me Bolt, right? Anyway. He glances between the two of us in surprise and Ramon's just step forward. Okay, yeah, I read that. Interesting that his name switched from random to Protoss, even though we didn't just learn he's Protoss. We just learned his name. We already knew he was Protoss, but I guess they just have like the one, like, this is the question mark image, and it always is random. Man, is that what the Protoss symbol looks like? It looks like the LucasArts guy. Ta-da! Okay, I'm not actually in the camera enough for you to see that, but whatever. Been a while, hasn't it? What's a supposed Star League champion doing with trash like this? I forgot your voice already. Sorry. Bold looks past her and tilts his head towards me. I take a step towards him, but an open palm from Jet stops me from going any further. Maybe I shouldn't be surprised. Jumping ship to a scene bloated with foreign money has its upsides, but it won't be long before you forget the dignity of a pro gamer. The dignity of a pro gamer, huh? You make it sound so distinguished. You've changed for the worse. You don't even realize it. How sad. Shouldn't be much longer until the KPGA finally accepts that there's no future in Burude War. You're smart enough to know what happens then. But hey, the scene could always use more casters. Oh, that's a burn in this culture. That's so funny. Oh, you know, you couldn't cut it to be a player, but at least you could cast. Like, that's so funny because, like, it's... Without the context, there's no burn there, but, like, that's totally a thing, right? Like, casters don't play. They're not pro gamers. They just know the game well enough to explain it. That's great. Whatever you say. For the record, what excuse did you give your coach for another day off? VIP is a little more lax than Shock T1 might, but I might want to borrow it someday. VIP is a little more lax than Shock T1. I don't know what that means. At that, Bolt scowls. Jet doesn't waste with the opening and strikes again. Don't worry. I'm sorry, I don't know that word. So I'm just gonna not insult him by saying it. Don't worry, your secret's safe with me. Run along now. I'm sure you've got coins to flip or something. I don't know what coins to flip means either. The standoff lasts a moment longer before Bolt lets out a lazy shrug, instantly killing off the intensity of his expression. I've got better things to do than offer advice to a mouthy chobo. Do what you want. Chobo? I'm surprised these words aren't in red. Now that I can remember how to bring up the glossary, so whatever. He thumbs his nose at me and returns to his station without another word. No! Is that an Alienware poster? I don't know what Alienware computers look like. I'm getting so distracted in this game. It's not even that late. I don't even know. I think this Bolt's out of sight. Just takes my arm in a vice and practically drags me away. What the hell was that? Did you close your eyes, expand, and hope for the best? Dude, I'm not a pro gamer. Why are you making me make these decisions for this person? This is dumb. I can't make her decisions for her. She knows the game better than I do. I love that thing. It's just like, man, you're changing. You're super changing. We were friends yesterday. Well, I'm a PC now, so I'm a completely different person. Woo! That's a like reference to standard adventure games where you start breaking everyone's furniture and junk. Yeah. It's a fun concept. A PC mind slug. Even after a heated confrontation, her concern is with the match before anything else. I almost laugh. I don't know. I was trying to be kind of tricky and put my third base where he wouldn't have normally scouted. It's blatantly obvious that you're expanding if you haven't shown it. It's blatantly obvious that you're expanding if you haven't shown an army that late in the game. All he had to do was look around the map and collect a free win. But that means he was too, because he hadn't been attacking that early in the game, right? Right? So I need to match his army? No, you're saying I should have tried to get his expansion and collect the free win. Okay. But then we both should have done the same thing? But he wasn't expanding? Oh, I don't know enough about games. You're trying to explain something to me, but I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jet. Okay, I'll learn. I'll learn, Jet. I'll learn. Her pointed critique diffuses the tension from moments prior, even if it doesn't exactly make me feel any better. When she's done going through my long list of mistakes, Jet flicks a hand back towards the PCs. Come on, queue up for a game against me. Cool. And she's like, here's all the stuff you did wrong. But I don't mean it in like a, I'm gonna, you're an awful, terrible person kind of way. Like, you still have a good enough potential that I'm gonna keep playing games with you, and I'm gonna actually bother to give you critique. It's cool. I told Jet that I wasn't feeling it for practice after we played a few more one-sided games. She seemed annoyed, but agreed with my suggestion to take a short break. Back in high school, I used to spend most of my time at the library when class was over. To be honest, this is probably the most time I've willingly spent outside my room since then. I'm not the type to read for fun or study diligently, but it was nice to have a place to go and be on my own. I've missed those afternoons since I graduated. The Golden Zone Fire is as good a replacement hangout as I could hope for. It's clean and comfortable, and it's pretty much everything that I'd need to stay 24/7. Yeah, this is cool, right? So, like, the beginning of this game is like, this person has just started, like, going to a place for the first time. And then the entire game's gonna be about her interactions in that place and the people she meets. And it's like, okay, so I actually am jumping on, like, the beginning of your little, like, new arc in your life, new chapter in your life. I mean, you see all the time in VNs, right? Like, I'm a person, now I'm in a new place. Why am I in a new place? So that we can meet all the new characters together. Yay! That isn't an exaggeration. Some of the patrons here look practically glued to their chairs. That was a can pop, huh? No, milk tea, apparently. What? Vending machine. Bleh. With a milk tea from one of the vending machines in hand, I return to my seat across from Jet. She isn't wearing the same scowl from earlier, but I can tell she'd rather be practicing. What are you drinking? She snatches up the can across from her and takes a long sip. Coffee. What kind of coffee? Coffee is coffee. I don't drink sugary junk. So black. Probably black. And for the record, it's obnoxious to challenge someone that you don't know to a match. Okay, caught your thing. Got it. Is it weird that everyone looks super white to me in this game? Like, I don't know, I find that really weird. Like, I know sometimes people look really white in anime, but, like, the entire cast is Japanese, so it's, like, doesn't weird me out, because at least it's consistent. But here, you're white and they're Korean, and it just seems like we shouldn't look the same, but I don't know. I don't know enough about ethnicities and skin tone and variations. Whatever. Just a color. Is it really such a big deal? All I wanted was a practice game. Do you know those types that stream snipe and start shit on message boards so that people pay attention to them? No, I don't at all. Why do you ask? Oh, apparently I don't. Apparently I do, actually. All too well, unfortunately. That's you. Except you did in real life. Wait, what? What? Bull's a real tool, though, isn't he? Kind of a prick. Ugh. Jet cuts herself off with a hiss and grits her teeth. How do you know him? His name is Bolt? Yes, he plays for Shock T1. Oh, that's the name of the team. Got it. Shock, huh? Bolt must be a new recruit. I haven't paid much attention to them or any other Brood War team since StarCraft 2 came out, but he definitely wasn't on the roster a year ago. Right. But how do you know? Clicks her tongue. Clicks her tongue. And breaks her gaze away from me. I silently appreciate the reprieve from the death glare. Man, I barely know you. Why am I digging into your life? If you must know, he and I went to the same middle school. I was in the class above him. Yeah, that's not the full answer, but that's fine. Oh, okay, I was thinking you might have knocked you out of a tournament or something. Why would I say that? Sorry. I'm sorry, but what? Wait, can we go back? How did going up to someone saying, hey, you want to play a match, turn me into someone who starts shit on a message board? I don't understand how those are similar at all. Ugh. Etiquette is hard, guys. Etiquette's hard. Not that, you know, I, the player, had the choice in the matter, but still. I mean, if I won and then it was like, yeah, suck it. Yeah, totally. That would be me being a dick. But I didn't. Maybe maybe this scene's the same regardless if I win or lose, and that's why it's talking to me that way. That would make sense. Anyway. No, never played him in Star League. You don't need to overanalyze everything. Jet. You're great. I don't need to overanalyze everything, that's true. I'm not saying words properly. Overanalyze everything. Silence falls between us while Jet nurses what remains of her drink. I can't tell if she's really into the coffee or if she just doesn't. Or if she is just trying to find something to occupy her lips other than our conversation. Sorry. I'm sorry. That was uncalled for. I like making that noise, that's all. I'm really bad at it, too. I doubt Jet spends much time at PC Bangs, given that she's got a team house to practice from. Wait, you're at a team house, too? Why? Wait. So just a minute ago, I was like, man, I don't know how this kid was able to get out of a team house 2 days in a row. But I'm talking to someone who also has a team house? I'm so lost. I'm enjoying the game, but I'm super lost. I should consider myself lucky that she'd make time to come out here. Yes, I should. It's true. Yeah, it makes zero sense for you to focus on qualifying for VSL, right? I blink myself from my thoughts to meet Jet's intense stare. What do you mean? What's the point of us meeting up to practice then? No, I'm not saying... Listen. Did I just skip a thing? Let me just check. Oh, I'm just saying what? Listen. Okay, great. Just making sure. I want to round up some players. For what? For VSTL. Team League? But you're already on a team. Wait, are you trying to recruit me? Why? I don't... Okay, so I've been watching Beck, Mongolian Chop Squad again. Love that anime. It's fantastic. And it totally has this really natural progression of like, I suck at guitar and I'm just starting to learn and I'm learning very fast. And this guy's like, that guy's learning super fast. We should get him in our band. Also, he's an amazing singer just because of natural talent. So that progression of like joining a great band from B starting as a nobody makes sense. And this is just like, hey, I just wrecked you like 12 times. You should join my team. Like, what? I need to just let this story happen because I'm going to love the story regardless of if it makes sense. So I really should stop. You're right, Jet. I don't need to overanalyze everything. You're right, Jet. Ah, Jet. Just so right. Yeah. Yeah? Oh, what happened? That's a sad face. And hand thing. That's... She wavers, considering whether or not to tell me what I've already figured out. You're leaving VIP? Oh, VIP is the name of a team. That's why I mentioned VIP earlier. I did not know what that meant earlier. See, game, you're like, oh, we'll explain StarCraft to you. And I'm like, I don't need you to explain it, but do it anyway. And they're like, here's some explanation. And I'm like, that explains nothing. And they're like, okay, that's fine. We're going to include a glossary of terms. And I'm like, cool, great. I'm going to ignore that because I know everything. And then they show me terms, and I'm like, I don't know that term. And they're like, well, don't worry. It's not in the glossary anyway. And I'm like, what? This is just, what? From context, it was not obvious I was a team. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway. Also, I don't even know what stuff, for all I know, this stuff's made up. Right? Like, they're not going to use real people, probably. Obviously, Day 9 was a real person in the beginning, but that was, like, out of that wasn't, like, in the fiction. Shut up, Darcy. Bits. Why did I do that? That was so dumb. Oh, man. Whoa. That was creepy, because there was, like, a moment when her eyes were, like, fading out that they were, like, this, like, dark color. Yeah, I liked it. Jit's eyes jumped to mine. Brows raised in surprise, and then furrowed in annoyance. She's been on VIP for almost a year, and is by far the team's best player. What? Really? Whoa. Why am I playing with... What? Really? The team's best player? By far? Whew. I guess I'm not trying to win. I'm doing practice games. That's the point. Still. I mean, I'm trying to win, but, like, the point is I'm doing it to practice junk, not because I think I have a chance of winning. Management barely pays us, and nobody is motivated. They're worse than bad. They're complacent. Want a fresh start. I'm not guilting you, it's just isn't something I expected to hear. Do you have a team house picked out? No. Not yet. What about a coach? Do we need a coach? Oh, what? Why would you need a coach? No. Well, do you have any players in mind? Yes, you and Acel. Duh. I wonder how many other characters are going to be in this game. We've only met 3 so far. I'm sorry. I need to find a way to toggle my volume from a hotkey. I need to bind that because I really want to cough right now. Okay. Well, do you have any players in mind? Look, it's a work in progress, okay? I gotta cough. That did not help. Wow. That didn't help at all. I am super sorry. I should cut this. I'm probably not gonna, because actual production? Not on this budget. That's not what I meant. I meant to, like, do reference to the not in this economy thing, but I screwed up. I edged away from her glare, raised my hands defensively. Alright, sorry, it's not my business. For a while, silence. Jet does her best to avoid eye contact, but I could tell she's thinking. She's thinking hard about something. Just as I'm about to rise to replace my milk tea with another, she speaks. Oh, it's that side look again. Stop doing that. You know about those foreign teams popping up recently, right? No, I don't. Yeah. What about them? Isn't it strange? They're worse than almost every Korean squad, yet most of them have more sponsors. Oh, this is super sad. This is gonna be about the politics of this gaming, not the actual, like, ugh. They're like, hey, you're not actually, like, we're not, I mean, you're not terrible, and we want you just because you're white, but We do want you more than we normally would because you're white. Sorry. That's... ugh, man. Okay. Okay. Man, I don't want this game to go that place. Politics of this. That sucks. That sucks. Is that a thing? Is this a real thing? Like, I don't know how much of this game is real and how much of it's fiction, you know what I mean? Like, is that a thing? Oh. Just, like, crappy foreign teams that have more sponsors because of, like, novelty? I don't know. Because of racism and junk? Is that a racist thing? I guess it is. It's sort of like a fetishizing or whatever. I am not informed enough to talk about stuff like racism. Anyway. Next. Well, there's a lot of esports fans outside of Korea these days. People want to support their hometown heroes. I don't think it's that simple. Where would the money come from if it's not the fans? Idiots. What? Idiots. Idiots that call themselves investors. Idiots that throw away money keeping mediocre players afloat because it makes them feel good inside for whatever reason. Well, she and Bolt agree on one thing, at least. Okay. Are you gonna find some idiots to sponsor you? No. Well... She takes a long moment to reconsider her answer. No, it wouldn't work out in the end. What I'm getting at is that too much of our scene ignores the foreign fan base. It's a huge mistake. Oh. I thought you were just saying that it doesn't, but you're saying that it is. And that is proof that it is? That's interesting. Okay. Go on. Well, there's the time zone difference and a language barrier. Also, I don't know if you know that, but lots of foreign fans don't find Korean players entertaining. That's an interesting point, right? Because sport isn't just about skill in the sport. You become a performer as well, right? Of course, that's the reason why I'd rather watch like a commentator or a Let's Player than an actual like esports player, right? Because I'm just like, you're so dedicated to the game that you're not necessarily a good performer. You might be both, and if you are, excellent. But like, I don't care if you can play video games well. I care if you're entertaining, right? Anyway, a British player entertaining. What? How dare you? That's ridiculous. I'm just relaying common knowledge. Don't hold me accountable for the opinion of Silver Leaguers. Man, these slurs are amazing. Or not, like, I guess not slurs, but these insults. These just like... It's so funny. I kind of wish they said gold leaguers even. Because, like, in the scene, that's a thing, right? That's like, gold. It's called gold, but it's like, no, gold is like the bottom rung. Even though there's silver and bronze under it. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, man. Sorry. Most Western fan support goes to the people who entertain well. Streamers, casters, those kind of people. The most famous players in your scene aren't the best? That's appalling. Hey man, what can I tell you? Hey, Broodwar got popular on the backs of boys that looked good on camera. It's practically the same thing. The PC bang was the ship, and the fangirls pulled the oars. Yeah? Cute Korean boys. Sorry. Sorry. I just like doing that. I just like doing that sound. I feel really bad about it. Not the same thing. They were pretty and skilled. Not one or the other. Yeah. See, here's the thing, though. I'm not saying they're not skilled. I'm saying they're not the best, right? Anyway, it still sucks, but like that's business, brah. Show some damn respect. Those boys are the only reason that you and I are able to have this conversation. The sharp response and equally sharp glare suggests that I shouldn't argue the point. Jed knows better than I do anyway. We're getting off topic. There are tons of potential fans that most Korean teams ignore simply because they're too hard to connect with. Man, I'm getting so like, yeah, I'm feeling a huge Beck vibe now. Like, I mean, yeah, that's just about like trying to be the best, not like, and all that junk. But it definitely gets into the whole like, hey, how do we get people to know we exist? You know, it's not just about being the best. It's about getting fans. It's about, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Too hard to connect with. Yeah, I agree. She lifts an eyebrow and stares at me for just a bit too long before glancing away. But I wasn't sure before. I am now. I like that. This protagonist, she's got a head on her shoulders. She's not like, what are they talking about? Like you see in so many games. And she's just like, yeah, I was pretty sure this is what you meant, but I just wanted to confirm it. Yeah, I get it. Go on. Sorry. Go on. Go on and what? I know what you're thinking. No, you don't. Yes, I do. Dosh. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Yeah, or so. Sorry. What am I thinking then? Sorry, that wasn't her voice. What am I thinking then? You want me to join a new team you're starting so that I can help you with the foreign fan base. Also, you invited me here to try out under the guise of practice. Jess slumps back in her seat, defeated. I fight a losing battle against the urge to laugh. See, that's the thing, is that she's not just like, oh, you saw through me. It's like, she's like mad at herself. Because she's like, I don't want to like do this just for the like it feels like selling out, right? Like, ah, man. Oh, man. And of course, as the like PC, as the protagonist, you're like, I'm a novelty. I guess you're not actually being like invited because of your novelty. You're being invited because you have skills. The skills are connecting with the fan base. Like, even though that might sound like a novelty, it is a skill in a sense, right? Right? Yeah. You just gotta do some wrap around logic and justify it to yourself. Don't look so smug. Ugh, I hate dealing with team management. I know, right? You could hire a manager. Before we have any players, maybe I should just keep my head down and practice. No, that wasn't sarcastic. Before we have any players, maybe I should just keep my head down and practice. Yeah, you really shouldn't hire a team manager. I'm really not. I'm not full of good advice so far in this game. Yeah, that's okay. Do I have a name? Yeah, it's Mac. Oh right, yeah. Sorry. No, don't do that. It's a good idea. Because, you know, I want to be on your team. You know, I really do. It would be great. Yeah, that's why. That's why I'm saying that. See, you can't trust a word I say, because I have, like... Ulterior motives isn't the right word, is it? Vested interest? Something like that? I don't know. Man, this is, like, the most disjointed reading. Ugh, it's the worst. No, you don't. No, don't do that. It's a good idea. You're only saying that because I gave you an offer. Partially. But technically, you didn't actually give me the offer. I just guessed it, and you said don't look smug. That's literally, you did not offer anything to me yet. Partially, but if you go through with this, I'll do whatever I can to help. How are you the one convincing me to go through with my own idea? Damn it. What is the, like, Korean equivalent of damn it? I feel like... I don't know. I'm just sort of curious. It seems like... For some reason, curses or, like any sort of, like, sharp punctuated thing... Actually, especially, like, expletives, right? Because they don't mean anything. Not really. Like, they exist on their own, right? They exist pretty much only within context. Doesn't matter what you're saying. You could be saying butt flakes, and it would mean the same thing, right? So when you're translating a game like this, and I think it was originally written in English, but I'm still saying, like, whatever. When you're doing a game set in a different language than is being presented, I think it's totally okay to sprinkle in the actual language there. And some people get really weird, but some people are like, well, wait, was he saying this or was he not saying this? Like what happened there? That doesn't make any sense. And it's like, yeah, you're right. Really, he said all of the thing in Korean, and then we translated only some of it back into English, and that's kind of weird and dumb and silly. But when it comes to expletives, since they don't actually mean a thing, just yeah, like I don't know. I feel like it would be really cool to have that be the actual, like, fitting thing. Then again, grammar messes up, so I guess it's not great to do that, because then you're using the word as, like, its own, out of its own original context because of the grammar changes and stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'm full of terrible ideas. She chews on her lip, likely considering the harrowing risk of leaving her team. Man, the way that the eye-opening animation happens, it's super weird. I like it. I can't make any commitments until we at least have some other players. It'd be stupid for me to move out of the VIP house without everything lined up. So wait, so far, have every single one of my choices has been within a game only. That's so interesting. I wonder if that'll keep up. Probably not. This is pretty cool though. This is something I've been thinking about for a while, even if I don't have any details hashed out yet. Yeah, you already have 3 players. How many? I don't know how many players are on a team. I have no clue. That seems like a decent chunk. I mean, Ace was on your team, right? That's literally why he's like, hey, you're not bad and foreign. I'm gonna invitation. What is the word? Introduce you to Jet, because I know she's looking for stuff, and I know she's looking for people because she's told me about this idea. Like, you know, Acel's totally on her team. Then again, is he supposed to already be on a team? I honestly have no idea what his history, what his situation within this game has been. I'm sure they told us, but I don't remember. I don't have the mind for that kind of stuff. What team peoples are on and sports, right? Sprots. Sorry, Jet. I've been leaving you sitting there, staring at me, being like, "Hey, we got a conversation happening here." I want to keep overhead low, practice time high. Lean and mean. She aims a finger at me, her dull nail a hair's breadth away before my nose. If you're going to be part of this, you're going to have to pull your weight. You can start by searching for our players. You'd rather find me a coach and a sponsor. Is this a choice? Is this a choice? Probably not. It's probably just finding players, because this is the end. It's all about seeing people, right? Yeah, talking to people with pictures drawn of them. Remember, if you see someone's picture, they're important. VN rule number 1. They have a portrait, they're important. Which isn't entirely true, but it's pretty good. It's a pretty good rule. I cringe backwards and raise my hands. No, I'll leave that to you. Good. We'll work it better this way. The minimum number of players for teams, this league is 4. So you need to find at least 1. She said 2, but the answer is 1, because we already know Ace's going to be in it. Wait, league team is 4. Does that mean literally it's going to be the only 4 people we've seen so far? I'm really hoping to find more people in this game. Not that I don't really like the other characters that already exist, but, you know. I'm curious if they have, like, depending on if you choose male or female, your team, like one of the other players will be switched to male or female, so that your team is 50-50. That'd be pretty cool. Would it be? Or would that sort of, like, undervalue the, like, character? I probably wouldn't. Like, I mean, the thing is, if you write a person as a person, it doesn't matter, like, what gender they're, like, cast as. They're still going to be an interesting character, and it's still going to make sense. So yeah, probably if they were just, like, if Jet was a dude this whole time, like, that none of the dialogue wouldn't make sense, you know. She would have still been a cool, punky, you know, not punky, tomboy. Anyway, game design. Good. We'll work it better this way. Minimum number of teams is 4, so 2. Got it. Wait, so are you saying you really were just like, I want to start a team? Do you just think you can, like, do the team yourself? Is that the idea? You're like, I am the best person on the team I'm currently on, so I'm going to leave it and start my own team, and I don't even care who the other 3 chumps are? That's super weird. No, this isn't exactly how I envisioned that I'd join a StarCraft team. Walk away if you like. You have a long way to go if you want to be anything other than our translator mascot anyway. Ugh, come on, that's harsh. I'll admit though, Asa was right. I see glimpses of high-level stuff in your play. Aw, thanks. But as of right now, you kind of suck, even by foreigner standards. Offense intended. Aww. You seriously need to start busting your ass. Coming to Korea is pointless. You're still practicing Western hours. See, and that's the thing, right? You'd think, you know, she's got to be pretty good if she's going to bother to come over. The thing is, she came over to learn, right? She's like, no. I'm going to go to Korea because that is the place you go to get better. And that's what she's going to do, right? She's going to improve. So it's not super weird that she sucks right now. Well, nobody ever claimed that Jet wasn't honest. I haven't seen that portrait yet. That's a good one. I'm gonna work you and everyone else like dogs. This team comes together, I won't be happy with anything less than first place in VSTL. That was not her voice. Whatever. Well, I appreciate the chance. I have her smile that she's quick to match. If we're going ahead with this, we've got a lot of stuff to do. The deadline to register for Team League is in 2 weeks, so we can't afford to waste time. Get moving on your search. So, wait. Playing and practicing, even though it's what I desperately need, is not my actual goal here. My goal is just finding other people who are better than me, okay? Alright, good luck. I'll catch you online. Yeah, later. Later, babe. I really thought she was just going to say later, babe, and she didn't. It was weird. Just the look she gave me, and it said later. When she's gone, I fall back into my chair and take a deep breath. Chit just asked me to join her team. I pinch my forearm and judge the sensation that follows. With that, my disbelief dissolves into contemplation. I think that's so weird. I feel like if I was dreaming and I pinched myself, I still feel like I was pinching myself. Or at least I wouldn't be able to tell that I wasn't, because dreams are weird. I don't know. It's a very weird trope that I don't understand. Who decided that you can't feel a pinch in a dream? Like, I don't know where that came from. Well, it didn't come from anywhere. It came from the idea that they needed a physical way of showing something, right? That's where tons of those things come from, right? Like the vein pulsing in someone's head, or like, I'm trying to think of some of like the Western like huge eyes things and what. visual tropes that exist to show a thing and blah. This is not. I am super off topic. How the hell am I gonna find 2 worthwhile unsigned players? Maybe we should sabotage someone. I did not say words there. I said sabotage someone. Ooh, different transition. A mixture of guilt and pride led me to spend the rest of the day at Golden Zone Fire. Between ladder games and a break for dinner, scoped out the cafe's best StarCraft players. Unfortunately, Thursday Land and Golden Zone Fire's regular patrons are much to write home about. There were good players there for all-out attack, sure, but today, most of the cafe's patrons were playing Brood War. And of the ones that were actually laddering at StarCraft 2, there were only a single guy in Master League. I'll have to extend my search outside of a single PC bang. I guess I'd have to have been a little too convenient to find a VSL caliber player so easily. And that's the interesting about like any of this kind of stuff. Like I was associated with bands, and I guess I've already done that a bunch in this game. But the whole idea of like being good is not enough. It's being noticed, right? Like, and being noticed doesn't mean doing anything. It means just, hey, someone who's looking happened to be looking near you. You know what I mean? It's so weird. Ugh. Life, am I right? Huh. That does like the same with anything, any job, or I gotta stop thinking about that. I get the urge to stop at a convenience store on the way back to the apartment. There's one I've been going to regularly for my nightly fixes of sugar and caffeine. I wonder if I'll meet someone there. Perhaps Aesel? The store's blindingly bright signage is visible from more than a block away. Green capital letters spell out the store's name in English on a backdrop of white. Go Mart. Okay, I take it back. This guy's not important. I don't know, maybe he is. It's not like everyone has to be like teen kids. Teen kids? I don't know. Yeah, let's get this guy on our team. He's definitely great. You know, it's weird, yeah. Is there like an age limit? I don't ever see anyone over like... I guess you do. I don't even know. No, you really don't. Everyone's always... I don't know, I can't gauge age. Gauge age. Gauge age! Yeah. You heard it here first. The door's familiar chime welcomes me, and the same clerk I've seen at least a dozen times before stands formally behind a cash register. He looks a bit old to be working still. Maybe he owns the place and doesn't have help to work the night shift. Ooh, weird cam. I see myself standing behind the counter in an unwanted mental image. It's a fate that could easily await me if I fail to make it as a professional gamer. You know, it's not that big a deal. Like, what? Why do we always do this in these sort of things? You know, we're always like, oh man, I might have to like have a normal job. That's the worst thing I can imagine. That's like, you know, yeah, I get the pursuit of the dream, but it's not so bad. Why do you have to like, I guess demonize is the wrong word, but I don't know. I shake my head free of thought and make my way to the refrigerated section of the store to fill my fists with cans and bottles. Some of the drinks may have strange names, but I'll be damned if they aren't good. It's a weird thing to say. I drop them to the counter in front of the old man and briefly make eye contact with him. He seems to recognize me, but doesn't say anything to indicate it. He rings up my drink slowly, not from age or callousness, but because he's in no great rush. The store's empty aside from me, after all. 6,001. I swipe my credit card in the reader and depart with a polite smile, anxious to return to my apartment. The clerk returns the expression and watches me go without another word. Okay, it's got two separate, like, two emotions and a portrait and two emotions is what I mean. Maybe this guy means something. Maybe this guy's like somebody's dad, or like or like some sort of, maybe he's our sponsor. You know, maybe he's like a super like independently wealthy guy who just runs a shop because he enjoys it. I don't know. Or, you know, he just works here and doesn't actually run it. Then you wouldn't work at a place you don't own if you were independently wealthy. That's probably true, yeah. The clerk returns the expression. I mean, that scene only existed to introduce that player, that character, right? Like, there's no way it was anything else. The only top-tier player I'm on speaking terms with is Cell. But how would I even approach the subject of getting him to leave his team for a new and untested one? Yeah, okay, so he's on a team. Maybe it'd be better for me to simply get a lead from him. If I can't manage that, then I'm left to scour local PC banks and message boards on my own. Whatever. I'll figure this out tomorrow. Oh hey, Cell, what's up? And you had to convince her? Wait, what was your voice? And you had to convince her? Seriously? She's been talking this up to me for the past 2 months. It's a big change. If I just met you guys, I'd be hesitant too. Aso grins, no doubt replaying Jet's angst in his mind's eye. Yeah, of course he knew about it. Getting into the ground floor is a major plus. You were in the right place at the right time. If it works out, that is. Aso glances over his shoulder before returning his attention to me. Most teams barely pay their players anything. I've got it good for someone my age, but even I have part of my winnings taken for the team's benefit. Ouch. Lucky for Westerners, that isn't a trend that has caught on outside of South Korea. So, can't do it. It's impossible. Those simply won't come. What? Oh. I still like so to laugh, genuine and highly amused. He tries to get the words out and, unlike me, eventually ends up succeeding. Sorry, Mac. No can do. I'm signed with Crash until the end of the year. I'm not allowed to play for anyone else until my contract is up. As I expected. Really. It shouldn't come as a surprise. I sigh, fall back into the chair, and rest the palm at the top of my head. I had to ask, even though I didn't. Just expecting me to pick up our players while she handles the management and sponsorship side of things. Hey, well, I can help you with the next best thing. I don't remember your voice, I'm super sorry. Here's your voice now, deal with it! I'd be thankful for any help, at all. Your voice too. Don't worry, I've got a short list of easy pickups. An extremely short list. He clears his throat. There's only one person on it. But hey, better than nothing, right? It's Bolt. It's Bolt. He's the only other person we've seen. It's Bolt. You're gonna get fired from your team and join ours, right? Yeah, it's Bolt. I get it. This game is gonna be taking a bit long to start. I hope it's not Bolt. I hope I'm wrong. Remember, pessimism is the best, because even if you were wrong... Wait, no. You get what you want, I guess? Yeah, that's right. Who is it? Oh, straight to business. Eager for your bunk bed, I see. Trust me, Mac. You'll want the bottom bunk. You know from experience? Sure do. When I was 16, some up-jumped Brood War clan scraped me from the bottom of the barrel and sent me up to their first overcrowded sweatshop of a team house. Had to sleep above someone at least 2 years past a graceful retirement. I've seen solitaire players with better APM. He snored. A lot. So, wait, what makes you think that, what makes you think that... Wait, why is above worse? Do snores go up or something? Like, that's not how that works. Oh, thank. As horrible as he's trying to make it seem, Aesel sounds closer to wistful than bitter as he recounts his first years as a professional gamer. What happened to the team? Sponsor flaked. Team didn't have the money for legal action. Coach didn't tell us until 20 minutes before rent was due. Someone stole my mouse pad as we were moving out. That was the end of my StarCraft career. Wait, no, it kept going for 7 years after that and somehow still isn't over. I always forget that part. That was almost a conceited way of saying that. Aesel, top Korean Terran, master storyteller. Anyway, this guy's name is Stunt. Plays Protoss. He's pretty good. I just met a guy who played Protoss. But, does there have to be a but? I'm sensing a but. It's a small but. He's incredibly cheesy and maybe a touch arrogant, and he's a high schooler. But he's good. No, don't know anyone's voice. This is just me talking to myself. Why haven't any other teams picked him up in that case? He shrugs. I get the feeling that Aesel genuinely doesn't know. But I'm left anxious nonetheless. Still, it's important to have at least some kind of racial distribution on the team. Racial distribution. Did they just say that he wasn't Korean or something? I'm confused. He's incredibly cheesy, maybe a touch arrogant, and he's a high schooler. That has nothing to do with race. What are you talking about? Not in terms of foreign or Korean, mind you, but rather Zerg, Protoss, or Terran. Duh, of course. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Sorry. Sorry. Right, the Protoss player. Okay. Okay. I'm glad they explained that one. They didn't have to. They could have just been like, you know what I mean. Why would I explain this? Do you know how we can get in touch with him? I could give you his info for a friend request. He'd probably block you on the assumption that you're a gold seller or something. Your best bet is to find him in person at Stomping Grounds. I need to rework your voice. I don't know. There was something in my head when he first started talking. That was based on it's gone now. His stomping grounds? What do you mean? Where? No, I mean stomping grounds. Duh. No. Stomping grounds. That's the name of the PC bang he's usually at. Another trek across Seoul. Never heard of the place, much less been to it. Asa takes note of my frown and wags a finger at me. What? You fly halfway across the world and can't be bothered to walk for half an hour? Take the subway if you're that lazy. No, it's fine. I shouldn't expect this to be easy. Now we're talking. Get going. I'll keep an eye out for the next player in the meantime. Are you gonna be like our sponsor / coach? You're gonna be like, well, I can't play for another team, but I can be a coach. That would be so cool! Yeah, let's do it! That'll be great. That sounds awesome. I guess this isn't bold. It could have been bold by a different name. It could easily have been, but I don't think it is. Oh, sound stopped. It's still... I don't know. That was weird. I checked the map on my phone for a second time after reading the sign for the third. It's definitely stomping grounds. What if my headphones just cut out or something? I don't know. I don't know. A deep breath helps calm my nerves. Seconds later, I push open the glass door and make my way inside. Is it the same place, but like color swapped or something? Not this one, I meant the alley. Although, pretty much as expected. Computers, vending machines, tables, and the sound of 24 mice and keyboards. PC bangs are nothing if not similar to one another. Fair. When a shiver runs down my back, I realize that the AC in here is cranked up ridiculously high. I read somewhere that casinos pump up in extra oxygen to keep their patrons awake and alert. Maybe this place has tried to adapt the same tactic to their cafe. Don't know why they'd care, but okay. No, you want them to stay playing because they're paying by the hour. Ah, fair, I guess. A middle-aged woman sits behind the front desk. She glances up at me when I pass by and then returns her attention to the magazine split in front of her. See, she didn't get a portrait. Yeah, that guy at the cafe shop, not cafe shop, convenience store. He's gonna be somebody. A quick scan of heads lined up in front of the monitors offers me a few potential stunts. Don't know what that means. Why is it capitalized? Amidst the sea of scrubs. By Azel's description, he's short and has bleached hair. I'm able to narrow it down quickly and confirm his identity with a look at his monitor. He is in the middle of the ladder match. And he's playing StarCraft 2 with one hand. The other is occupied with a game in a cell phone. Why? You're paying to be here. Unless just the training. Anyway, think about it too much. Let's go. All the same, Stunt's crushing his opponent. Oh! His name's Stunt. I'm looking for Stunt. Got it. All the same, Stunt's crushing his opponent with a rush build, and by the look on his face, he takes great pleasure in the fact. He's just rushing. He's just like, I do protest rushes. That's my thing. The problem is you can't have a thing in pro gaming because then people know your thing. Like, meta. His enemy sends a salty one-liner before dropping out of the game without a GG. Stun grins wide and puts his hands behind his head, satisfied. Okay, so I already mentioned this word earlier. I was just talking and I said it. But I find salty such a weird word. Like, it feels like it came out of nowhere. It's like, suddenly we just use salty to mean this. And I mean, I guess it's been around forever, but like, it just got huge for some reason within the, like, online gaming section of people. And I find it so weird, and I don't know why. And yet, it's such a good word. Like, it describes a thing very well, that there really isn't a substitute word for that does it in the same way. It's bizarre. I love it when language does that though, where it's like, hey, you know what? This word needs to exist, and we have one now. I actually think of spoopy that way, which is weird, and like, hold on for a second. It's not, spoopy doesn't mean spooky. I realized this one day, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. Like, it doesn't actually mean spooky. We just used to use spooky in a way, in a very broad way, and now we like, can refer to a specific type of spooky with spoopy. We don't have to use spooky to refer to that anymore. That's great. That was a dumb side tangent. So anyway, stay salty, my friends. Or something, I don't know. I wasn't even in the camera because I'm not looking at it. Yeah. After checking the post-game stats, he glances over his shoulder and then spins his chair around to find me watching him. Wow. Wow, that kid is a kid. Good job, game. Good job at not making him look like... It's hard to draw, like, different ages of people together and be like, yeah, they actually look like they're different ages than each other. Good job. Good job. Because, I mean, I'm looking at the people that have so far showed up, I was like, yeah, they could be in high school. Sure, like, in a different game, they could have been they could be the same models in high school. This kid, yeah, he looks a lot younger than him, which is great. Because, you know, yeah. Sup, you want something? Yeah, you're stunned, right? That's me. Who are you? I'm Mac. Stun lights up and stands upright and plants his hand on his hips all at once. Right, the foreigner that Acel messaged me about. We started to think you wouldn't show up. I was starting to think you wouldn't show up. Let's get this best match going. Oh! Acel, you dick. Acel, you... It's probably best that Acel didn't tell us, to be honest. Never mind. Hey everyone, the bet match is on. Wait, does everyone here know him? Wow, it's actually kind of a big deal. This grin, something reminds me of the kid from Wreck-It Ralph. Yeah, Vanilla V. Anyway. Hey everyone, the bet match is on. Yeah, I can totally imagine that voice in this guy's face. That's great. Anyway, that's another one we're doing. And I already forgot the voice I did. Oh man, I am the best at this game. Hey everyone, the bet match is on. What? Damn it. Really, Acel? Before I can attempt an explanation, a crowd of 6 or 7 middle school aged kids forms behind Stunt. Don't even see myself talking my way out of this. Bet match. Right. That's me. Yes. That's what I'm here for. 4 girls going up against Stunt? Is a bet match or a donation? Well, when will they learn? He's the cafe's best player. Hey, Stunt, will you buy me a juice with your winnings? I'm sorry, voices. You don't have faces, so I get to use whatever voice I want. I don't have to do them twice. Stunt ignores the peanut gallery and takes a step forward, sizing me up, judging by his appearance. Looks like he just started high school. I'm almost a head taller than him. Acel said you were down for a 15,000 won bet. But come on, you can do better than that, right? How much were you thinking? 25,000 is a much better number, wouldn't you say? Come on, you had to drag your ass all the way over here to play. Let's make it interesting. Man, you are such a shark. What the heck? What's that? $20 or so? I gotta skip a few trips to Gomar, but I can risk having him turn me up down. Yeah, that's actually the best part of this. It's just like, I'm a high schooler, so 20 bucks, right? Like, yeah, that's great. So much. Love that scene in Campaign Flashback, where it's just like, oh yeah, we'll do it for 100 credits. It's just like, you gotta be bleeding me dry here. I'm just, oh, here I am, making jokes with myself, laughing at them. I'm the worst. Okay, fine. 25,000. What are we gonna do about maps? Best of 3, right? Nah, best of 1 is fine. My time's too valuable. And in a show of good faith, you can fit the map. Guess I wasn't kidding about this kid's cockiness. Whatever. At least I can't choose the map with a long rush distance. But I should choose him, right? If it's best of 1, my best bet is just to, like, get a quick cheese on him. Like, I can't. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. It's weird how cheese is, like, a legitimate playstyle. Like, it's so bizarre. Like, earlier I was playing those matches, and every time I was like, do you want to cheese? And I'm like, no, I'm playing standard. And like, you sure you don't want to cheese? And I'm like, what are you doing, game? Shut up. He's just gonna, like, photon cannon your base or something. It's gonna be excellent. I find to see the computer ready, though not so close that we could catch a glimpse of one another's screen. A locked window stares back at me as I sit down. Of course, you'd pay to use the PC. But before I can head back to the front, Stunt slides in front of me and takes the mouse. Yo, I got it. Consider it an investment for the money you're about to give me. He unlocks the machine with a few clicks and the entry of a password. Huh, that works. After I thank him, he slinks back over to his setup. Stunt shares a few confident words with the underage crowd behind him, then throws his headphones on. I host up a game and toss him an invite. Toss him an invite. Shut up. Shut up, brain. That wasn't funny. Shut up. Shut up. It's not long after that I'm staring down my base. Staring down my base. 6 workers. That's just weirdly worded. Not staring down at. Staring my base down. Just you and me, base. Like what? I don't know. Let's get into the game. There we go. Stunt. Young, untrained talent. Favors unorthodox play. I mean, probably, because I only saw him play once. Like, what am I talking about? Bad taste in hair dye. Cannons. 2-gate, 4-gate, blink, proxy robo, proxy stargate. There are a dozen different ways that Stunt could end this game early. Yeah, he's totally a cheese player, which is awesome, which is super cool. Like, Protoss is a ton of really cool shit that you can just screw around with. Sorry for my language. As a precaution, I scout around the interior of my base to ensure that I'm not being cannered. Oh yeah, you make sure those spawners are clear! And as I discover I am, just outside my vision range, dangerously close to my worker line as the cannon finishes building. Yeah, see, because if he cheeses and you find it, which you will, because you know he's gonna cheese, you can do it. You can probably just do this. Some losses in a defense are inevitable. But if I handle this well, it should put me ahead of Stunt. It's gutsy of him to risk a best of 1 on a strategy like this. Practically all you have to do is scout it to score a victory. By microing my injured SCVs away from cannon shots, I'm able to end the rush at a low cost. Is it a low cost though? Like, it might not be actually, considering like you spent all this time doing that when you should have been doing something else. Like, I don't know. In truth, this seemed like an exceptionally weak attack. Was they still hyping this kid up for nothing? I end up losing 3 of my workers by the time his single cannon is dead. Now where's that probe? Wow, the probe's still there? Wouldn't it have already ran away? That's super weird. There it is. With his probe down, there's no way he'll be able to drop down any more cannons. Still, he's probably planning his next move. I have to decide what comes next. If he's transitioning into something standard, this would be the perfect time to counterattack. His tech has to be lacking, so there's no way he'll have strong enough units to defend a marine attack. And while it seems incredibly unlikely, there's always a chance he might have another attack ready. If I want to err on the side of caution, I should stay on my base and simply tech up, but that might give him enough time to get back into the game. I should make this call based on what I know about his playstyle. Yeah, we had a counterattack. You always counterattack cheese. I don't want to give Stun enough time to get back on his feet. Without applying some kind of pressure, he could easily take on blind risk and put us on an even footing. His cross-map position is guaranteed due to the map's version. Oh, by the way, during the little, like, hey, let's intro you to StarCraft, there's a line that Day9 has where he says, hope you don't get the bad ending. So I kind of think that, yes, if I screw this game up, I screw this game up. Like, it might actually be a lasting impact. And not in just a, oh, you get a different ending. You know, like, no, it's putting you on the course to 3 ticks, you're out kind of thing. I don't know. You know? Like, I'm very much used to the VM where it's like, you know, you're just going to play the game and you're going to get to the end and it's going to be a good time. Not the, if you don't play this game right, you lose, right? Like choose your own adventure game style book where it's like, hey, you go to page, what do you want to do? Go left or right? You went left and fell into acid. You know, like, I don't play that kind of VM, right? So, I don't know, man. His crowd map position is guaranteed due to the map's version. That's a good point. It's got a long rush distance. You already told me that. I should have been aware of that. Maybe I shouldn't. No, I should still counterattack. It's still the best thing to do here. Also, scout out for, like, proxy stargazing crap? Yeah. At very least, you should get your Marines out there. This crap map position is guaranteed due to the map's version. Oh, crap. Whoa, shit. Zealots. How? And again, took my eyes off my main army long enough that it ran into cannons and positioned at the top of Stunt's choke point. I tried desperately to pull my units back in time to defend, but the damage is done. With my economy completely eviscerated and his base well fortified, I have no way to stay in the game. My mouse creaks under my grip before I release it and push away from my PC. Even though I was mentally prepared for a rush, he made it work anyway. What a stupid loss. Judging by the swagger and Stunt's walk as he makes his way over to me, he either doesn't notice the frustration I'm feeling, or doesn't care. Easy. I call that one the Stunt's special. I rub my forehead. Admittedly, the kid's pretty good. Asa was right to put me on his trail. Right. Time to pay up. See, that's the thing, is I don't need to beat this kid. I was expecting it to be like, I will join your team if you beat me. But it was actually just, you're here to place a bet. So I can be like, here's the, $25 or whatever. And, you know what? Not only that, I want you on my team. Like, that's pretty cool. I don't think I need to beat a kid for him to want to join my team, right? You don't get an offer like that every day. Right, time to pay up. Oh, yeah. So listen, I'm thinking of start. I reach for my wallet mid-sentence and then freeze. It's not there. Hold up. I pat down all my pockets and discover that I simply don't have it. Did I leave it back in my apartment? Didn't know I was showing up at a bet match. You took the subway! How do you not have your... What? Are you serious? You don't have any money? With a blanched expression, I confirm his suspicion with a nod. I can explain this, really. I didn't know I was showing up for a bet match. Asa put me on your trail because I'm recruiting for a new team. With a gaggle of middle schoolers egging him on with jeers, he thumbs his nose at me. You're just trying to get out of paying your loss. That's low. Really low. You can hold my all in and don't bring your wallet to a bet match? Am I supposed to expect you to organize a team? Yeah, I don't think so. Stunt, wait, we've got... Shit. Jit is technically still on VIP. Can I tell him that she's planning to leave? What if he tells someone? Why didn't I think of this ahead of time? She told you! She knew you for a day! And she told you, so I don't think she's really too concerned about things leaking. I have some good players about to sign, and a sponsor in the works. Nothing official. We're trying to keep everything under wraps until then. Yeah. People have tried this sketchy shit with me before. It's not happening. I paid for your PC, and now you repay me with this crap? Get lost, lady. Wait, this is a great opportunity. I'm serious. But any hopes of getting Stunt to change his mind is drowned by the booze of the middle schooler cadre. Now this is the interesting thing about visual novels, right? Sometimes you see a thing where it's like, guess what? Here's how the path goes. If you say yes to the first person, you get the first person. And if you say no, you can say yes to the second person. And if you say no, you can say yes to the third person. So not getting this kid might have actually been a good thing because I can get a cooler person later, right? Like, sometimes they're organized in that method. I don't know if this one is, but I think it's interesting. You suck. You lost to Stunt. He's the best. Well, if he's the best, then it doesn't mean I suck. Shut up, fanboy. Loser, now he can't buy me a juice. Pay up, loser. I glanced past the chest-high crowd to search out Stunt. It's too late. He's gone. How did I mess this up so bad? Yeah, how did you not have money? What the heck? Did you get pickpocketed? Like, seriously, you wouldn't have come here. You knew you had to pay for a PC. Like, this just... No, made no sense. Oh, wow, was it just over? Did I just lose? Wow. Okay, that's kind of a... Really? I don't have a problem with that being the ending and being like, look at that, you screwed up and now it's over. But I don't know. I'm used to bad endings being satisfying in a way of like, whoa, I got a really, really terrifyingly, like, heartbreakingly awful scene. That was my bad end. You know what I mean? And this is just sort of like, you lost. Game over. And I'm like, like, okay. You know, this is like losing a fight in Final Fantasy, and it's like, load your save, dummy. And I'm like, okay, I'll load my save, right? Like, it's not nearly as emotionally racking as, like, you know, playing Kaiba Shoujo and falling off a roof. And just, like, that sounded so weird without context. If you don't know that game, that just was like, falling off a roof, how was that interesting? Anyway. Still. Cool! I'm definitely gonna keep playing this game. I don't know if I'm gonna record it, because it just... I sometimes... I don't know, I get in this weird place where I'm like, I'm playing a game, and, well, I'm never gonna play that game again, because I streamed it once. And now I feel like I have to stream it every time I play it. And then I just never play games again, and I miss the game. I'm gonna try and stream it again. I enjoyed this. I think it was great. I like doing voices even though I'm bad at it. But I'm not gonna promise nothing. So that if I, you know, feel like playing it someday, and don't feel like streaming, then I can do that. Anyway, this has been DarcyBits. Thanks for coming out here. The dream is dead. The dream is dead, everybody.